Julie here from Julie Powell Photography, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm all about portraits and creative shooting and still life and helping you master photography through lighting and styling and a little touch of imagination. So today we're diving into two lighting powerhouses that might just find a permanent spot in my workshop kit. This is the Neewer HS60B and the Neewer HS60C handheld constant lights. So let's have a little look. They come in these great little carry bags, which makes it amazing for shooting on location. And they come with your manuals, as you would expect. They come with power, so there's a power adapter and that plugs into it. They do run off mains power. However, if you have a battery pack, and I'll look at that in a tick, you're good to go. How cool is that? So this is the DS60B, and that's the C. Fits in your hand. It comes with a little softbox and a diffuser. And they just fit in there like so, back in the carry bag. So this is the other one, which I've already had out and playing with it. This just clips over the top. A little bit fiddly when you've got horrible hands like mine. And then this just clicks onto it like so. Then your power goes into here, and it's fabulous little handheld light. So let's have a look at it. At first glance, these just look like your average compact LEDs, right? But don't let the size of this fool you. These handheld lights are seriously bright, and they're designed to be fast, flexible, portable, exactly what you need for shooting or teaching in the studio or on location. And when I say seriously bright, I mean seriously bright. This is only 60 watt. So this is the DS60C, so this is the RGB version. And there's also the bi-colour version. So this is the HS60B. That's a bi-colour LED, meaning you can shift the colour temperature from really warm, 27,000 K, to a crisp 65,000 K. So if I turn this all the way around, this is the 2700 K. Nice and warm. But if I dial it all the way around, I get a nice cool 6500 K. Perfect for matching ambient light, studio strobes, or even candlelight if you're doing some really super moody still life like I frequently do. Now this is the HS60C, which means colour. So this is an RGB light. This can be your friend. You can dial in literally any colour for dreamy backdrops, or if you want accent lighting, special effects. I'm already thinking about some really cool portrait setups with gels, minus the gels. So this is got some creative lighting modes, and you can change the colour. So if you want the colour, that's one of the creative lighting modes. That's the flash. A bomb explosion. Flashing lights. Oh, I can play with this for ages. So both of them have special effects. And you can change the colour, the temperature, the tint. You can go in and you can change the RGB, and I'll show you that in a second. And yes, these are plugged into power. However, if you unplug this, and if you have the Neewer, now this is the PS099 EP power pack. You can plug this in to the power pack, and this is a V-mount, so you can put it on the V-mount clip and attach it to like a lighting stand or whatever. And it's got a USB port. I'm going to plug that in, and I'm going to turn that on and turn that on, and now I'm totally portable, ready to go. So I believe you can get about 2.5 hours depending on what strength you have your light at, if it's at 100% or 50% or whatever. But the power pack makes it totally portable. So that is an awesome option as well. This is the HS60B, so this is the bi-colour, and this is the HS60C, which is the colour or RGB light. So they're both pretty much the same on the back. This is where you plug the power in if you're using mains power, and it's got this little sort of stand thing that you can loosen up or tighten off. That is where the USB goes in to run off the power pack, and there's the little fan in there. So to turn it on, okay, so I've got the power turned right down, otherwise you just can't see the back of it. So you've got, this is your power button, it's also your mode button, so you can switch between turning the power up, and you've also got the kelvins here. So that's on 2700, and I just scoot that through to the 6500. The C version is slightly different because you've got all your colour aspects, but with this one, so this is a basic buy, so you've got your CCTV, and you've got different effects, and you can scroll through if you want different effects and things like that, and obviously the power wattage, and then back to the start. So if I show you the other one, okay, so this is the colour version. So I've got my power here, which I can turn up and down, and I've got my kelvins, which I can scroll through. Again, going from 6500 to 2700. If I press my little mode button, I can get into different, and I can choose different saturations, different colours. Click on that to go through, and you can change the colour. So it's now purple. Go into mode again. You've got your special effects like your flashing lights. And then you can go through and you can select different colour outputs. You've also got different aspects here, so you can come in and you can play with your kelvins, your gamma, your RGB, all the rest of it. So you can play with all of those and make your own colour, and then I'm back to the start. So that's pretty much everything on using these cool little lights. If you want to use the battery pack, turn it off. So you've got the battery pack there that turns on, and then it's just a matter of turning your light on, and that's running as well. So it's super easy, super simple, super intuitive to use. What about some of the specs? So it's a 60 watt output. So that's actually some fairly serious power just in your hand. It can be running on battery if you have the battery pack from Neewer, or it runs on main power. It has an OLED display, and it's got control dials, and they're easy to use, very intuitive, fast adjustments. There's also an app. So if you load up the Neewer app on your phone, it's fantastic if you've got the lights on one side of the room and you're on the other side of the room. And of course, don't forget, it's got those really cool special lighting effects. They're super intuitive. Honestly, if you've ever fumbled around with lights mid-shoot in the studio, in the dark, you're going to appreciate how simple these are to use. Seriously, it's just clicking the dial and fiddling around with it. It's to change special effects, lighting, colour, warmth, whatever. Really, really easy to use. You certainly are going to appreciate how simple these are. Neewer, you really have nailed it with these lights. If you're a photographer, a content creator, or an educator like me, both the HS60B and the HS60C are fantastic additions to your kit. Look, I'm going to be honest, they are only 60 watts, so they're not going to be as powerful as I'm currently using my video light, which is the Neewer CB200C, which is the RGB 200 watt. There is going to be a difference between 60 and 200, but if you're looking for little handheld things and you can move it around, you could do some cool effects, you're looking for gels, anything like that, these are an amazing addition to something like the big 200 watt light. I am going to be using these in upcoming classes and tutorials, so stay tuned. You're going to be seeing these in action a lot more soon. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more behind the scenes content from my workshops, shoots, and creative play, hit that subscribe button. Now, if you've got any questions about lighting setups or how to use these in your own work, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to help you out. So that's it from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on YouTube. Bye.